Hey everyone, the MLB trade deadline has passed. Let's talk about the trades the Dodgers did make and those they didn't. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alan Ruiz, and my favorite time of the regular season has now passed, and that is the trade deadline. In seasons past, the Dodgers have made some really big blockbuster moves. That wasn't their goal this season though. They traded for relief pitcher Brock Stewart and outfielder Alex Call. There were some players out there who were big names and did get moved, but it wasn't to the Dodgers. So let's talk a little bit about each individual trade, why they were chosen to be on the Dodgers, and what the Dodgers gave up, how it all fits together. First, relief pitcher Brock Stewart. Now, Brock Stewart came up as a Dodger. He actually debuted and he was a starting pitcher. He had his fair share of struggles and was eventually sent over to the Minnesota Twins, where he became a relief pitcher. Since then, he has really developed a reliable track record as a relief pitcher. He isn't the Johan Duran or Ryan Helsley level of tier when it comes to relief pitcher, but he is a quietly sneaky pick for the Dodgers to get at this trade deadline. Looking at his baseball savant percentiles, this is all in the red, which in this case is very good. We can see here that his stuff plays with percentage is really high. We can also see that in the strikeouts, so that's great, especially for the postseason. And also, he induces soft contact, so not a lot of hard hit balls off of Brock Stewart, and he also misses the barrel as well. The glaring concern for Stewart is that he has never thrown more than 40 innings in a single season, and already he's 2/3 of an inning away from reaching that mark. So there is some injury concern, especially because he has had some arm injuries in the past couple years. A few years ago in 2021, he got Tommy John surgery, so something to keep our eye on. Now that the Dodgers do have him though, his contract will expire after the 2027 season. So that's the rest of this one, 2026, and then 27 after that. So a little more than 2 years of Brock Stewart ahead for the Dodgers. Looking at his 2025 stats, very good, 2.38 ERA, only given up 3 home runs, and looking at the percentage for home runs in this season, it's a 2.2%. So he is not the kind of pitcher who's going to give up the long ball, which is a great sign there. He's holding runners to a 1.088 whip, so very good number there, not really letting batters get on base. And then looking at the strikeout to walk ratio, it's 3.73, and that goes along with his percentages for this year as well. 29.5 K percentage and a 7.9 walk percentage. So he's not letting runners get on base, he's not letting them hit the long ball, and he's striking guys out at a really good clip. Nice pickup for the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers general manager Brandon Gomes mentioned that as soon as Evan Phillips, who has been their closer in seasons past, once he went down, having received Tommy John surgery, they knew they were going to need a relief pitcher who could face right-handed batters and get them out at a consistent rate. So, how is Stewart against righties? This season, he's holding them to a 104 batting average against. He has a 0.50 whip against righties, only allowed 7 hits, and righty batters have a 327 OPS against Brock Stewart. Needless to say, this is a guy the Dodgers definitely can use in high leverage situations in the postseason and even later on in the regular season, especially against right-handed batters. So it'll be interesting to see where the Dodgers place him and in what situations to really gauge how they feel about their new relief pitcher. Now, who did the Dodgers send away in exchange for Stewart? Now that would be James Outman, who we know debuted for the Dodgers a few years ago and has had a lot of struggles, especially after his rookie season. Since his most recent call-up, which was on July 7, so about almost a month of playing time to really see if he was going to pick it up again, he's only hit for an .067 average, a 167 on-base percentage, 133 OPS, and a really high strikeout percentage of 29.4. So the Dodgers just felt like the bat was not going to pick up while he was on their team. And yes, he is good in center field. We saw him take away a home run, potential home run from Carlos Correa to save the game a couple series ago. But it seems like they are really confident with their center field options, which could be Pages, it could be Edman, maybe another mix, maybe Alex Call, who we'll talk about in just a minute. So it seems like they're really confident with what they have, and they said, James Outman, thank you for all that you've done. We're going to give you a good shot in Minnesota to really get consistent playing time and develop as a player. Ultimately, I think this was a very good trade. What's the trade grade for Brock Stewart in exchange for James Outman? I say B. B for Brock Stewart. And why? Because Brock Stewart is a solid, if not better than solid, relief pitcher for these Dodgers. He's exactly what they need to face those right-handed batters, and the Dodgers didn't have to completely empty their farm system to get him. Looking at other teams, we have the Padres giving up their number 3 overall MLB prospect in the pipeline for Mason Miller in that trade. The Mets gave up 2 of their own top 15 prospects for Ryan Helsley, who personally I wanted on the Dodgers. And then the Yankees, we know they brought in David Bednar, Jake Bird, even Camilo Doval from the Giants, and ultimately they gave up 2 of their top 10 prospects, as well as others, to really bolster their bullpen. So the Dodgers bolstered their own, but they didn't have to empty out their prospect list to do it. So, good trade, I give it a B. Only a B just because he isn't one of the high-end names that were out there, but B because of the strategy behind it. Now, the second trade to get to is Alex Call, outfielder for the Nationals. He has primarily played in the corner outfielder position, so left and right. He is under team control until 2029, and the Dodgers only had to give up their number 16 and number 20 prospects to get him. He's having arguably the best complete season of his career. 274 batting average, 371 on base percentage, 756 OPS, and not a power hitter, so his slugging percentage is low at 386. So even though he isn't going to bring the boom with the bat, he is definitely described as a pesky hitter, someone who's hard to strike out, and someone, general manager Brandon Gomes said he's a hard player to game plan against. If we look at his strikeout percentage, that becomes evident. 15.2 strikeout percentage. This guy sees many pitches while he's at bat. He doesn't strike out. He makes it hard for pitchers to even get him out, and he's really a grinder. It's another way that he's been described. Grinding at the plate, doing everything he can to make it hard on opposing pitchers. Looking at his percentiles for the year on Baseball Savant, chase percentage, that percentile is at 97, elite. He does not whiff, he does not strike out, and he also walks at a very high clip. Now, defensively, how does he grade out? He has above average range and an above average arm. Sprint speed is also above average, so they're hoping that he can be a good defensive upgrade for the Dodgers. We know they have Michael Conforto, they have Andy Pages, Teoscar Hernandez, so this is just another guy to have out there in possibly late inning situations. They didn't say they were necessarily going to platoon him with Michael Conforto, but that definitely is an option depending on certain matchups. Just another guy who can be dependable out there. Now, for me, as is the same for many other Dodger fans, we wanted Steven Kwan, all-star left fielder from the Cleveland Guardians. He has that same type of batting style of just being a pesky hitter, fouling balls off, good contact guy, fast, grades out amazingly in left field, Gold Glove Award winner. But they wanted a lot for Steven Kwan. It could possibly be an off-season move to bring him in for some prospects or maybe some big league talent as well, because he is a big name. He would have been great to add to this team, but it seems like Alex Call is going to fill a lot of the same needs for the Dodgers. So because of that, I give this trade a grade of C. Not the biggest guy, he's not Steven Kwan, but the Dodgers were conservative, they saved their prospects, and they still filled a big hole that they had. Now, real quick, another trade that the Dodgers made was actually selling Dustin May to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for a couple outfield prospects. He actually has not gone to the injured list this year, which is rare for Dodgers pitchers nowadays. But looking at his stats, it's been a bit mediocre. He's pitched in 19 games, a 4.85 ERA, 97 strikeouts. So the talent is there. It's been there since the day he debuted. And to see what he's gone through, especially most recently with this life-threatening incident with the esophagus, it's really endured us fans to Dustin May to see how he's pushed, to see how he's returned, and how he's come back as a pitcher when none of that seemed possible just a few months ago. So wishing nothing but the best for Dustin May as he embarks on this next journey with the Boston Red Sox. Ultimately, it could be a good move for the Dodgers. This was his last year under contract, and he was most likely not going to re-sign with the Dodgers. So it's probably better for him to get some more opportunities with the Red Sox. They might need him even more. So what would I overall grade the trade deadline in 2025 for the Dodgers? All right, here we go. I say the Dodgers have a trade grade of B. Now, that might seem a little bit high for some people. I know some fans were up in arms about how they didn't go after the big names like Duran, both Durans, Yohan Duran and Jarren Duran, Ryan Helsley, David Bednar, guys like that. But I think the Dodgers got a very solid reliever for relatively cheap. They cleared space on their roster by giving May a better chance in Boston, and they also brought in a disciplined hitter and a team player to man the outfield. They filled the holes. They saved their farm system by not giving up too much, and I think they have a really good shot of a strong postseason roster, especially once the established players return to the team. We have Blake Snell coming back, Treinen's come back, and we have two relief pitchers currently on the mend, Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, who will be returning hopefully very soon. Well, guys, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of this Dodgers past trade deadline? Do you think they did enough? And which of these players that we talked about are you most excited to see? I'd love to interact with you in the comments. Let me know. My name is Alan. Go Dodgers, and I will see you on the next episode of All Things Dodgers.